a world where losing in your fantasy football league isn't an option, we present to you Triple Coverage Podcast.
YouTubers, if you like what you see, make sure you click subscribe below. Today we're going to do our Thursday Triple Threat episode, and I can't wait to hear what you think about this song. So let's crack a cold one and enjoy.
Football league isn't an option. We present to you Triple Coverage Podcast.
It's called If You're Wondering If I Want You To. My bro picked Gurley and he's good at TCP. I dug you so much, I took one for the team. Travis was silent, his time was spent on all that house movie. Punishment served.
Sorry, I missed it.
That's right.
3,
Punishment
2.
served.
And that was definitely a punishment for sure. This week is going to be more of the same. With only two of us here doing this, it makes it a little more tough, I guess.
Challenging to not lose. No one's playing for the win. We used to just play to not lose. Now you have to play for the win.
You have to.
Yeah. I mean,
there is no middle guy anymore, so it's 50-50 on this.
At least it's been close, though. Like, there hasn't been any blowouts. I think the way that we're doing it, as far as each one of us has a quarterback now, we used to leave quarterbacks out because there was three of us. Now it seems like every single time it comes down to the fourth quarter with 3 minutes to go, and you're just praying that your guy either his guy doesn't do anything, or my guy, gets that last catch. So at least it's been, for me, it's been entertaining.
Yeah, not me, not so much.
A little rough,
it's more stressful trying to find songs at a rapid pace. Welcome back to Triple Coverage Podcast. This is our Thursday night Triple Threat episode.
Week 6.
We will review last Thursday's game, and we will do the punishment song in the middle, and then at the very end we will preview next Thursday's game. So I'm here, I'm Jay Up, and I'm here with my brother James.
What's up, dudes?
And
dudettes.
Let's get ready to rock and roll here.
Recap City.
Recap. This is actually a pretty good game. Like, it was high scoring. I once again didn't get to watch it because we had a softball game, so I got to kind of just keep updates on my phone. But did you get to watch this game?
I did. Brady reached his 500th career touchdowns, and actually it was a record-breaking week because Drew Brees on Monday night got the most yards ever thrown record. So, but this game in particular, a lot of scoring and a lot of throwing. Andrew Luck threw the ball 59 times.
Yeah, he did. 365
yards. Brady also threw for 341 on 44 attempts, a little bit more efficient there, but they both had 2 interceptions. There was 4 interceptions this game, so a lot of turnovers. But, the thing that I took away from this game is that the Patriots' offense is now full strength, and they are back and ready. Edelman got thrusted right back in and got 9 targets. James White, though, 14 targets. So at what point is the Patriots going to stop going towards James White like they do every single year?
The same thing happened last year. First half the season, James White was killing it, and then all of a sudden it became the Rex Burkhead show. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but just a couple days ago I saw that they're calling Gillislee again.
Yeah.
Gillislee has been cut because Ingram came back from the Saints, and so now they're already.
If you own James White in a dynasty league, enjoy it. Enjoy it now. To me, he's a flip candidate. If you can go right now and get a second and a third or a second for James White, in my opinion, I'm taking it. Unless you have to rely on that guy, unless he's somehow he's your number 2 guy, then I'm selling James White right now because I just don't believe in the Patriots running backs of them wanting to have 1 or 2 particular guys that they roll with. They love changing it up. They love to keep the defense guessing, and they're always interchanging these guys. And to me, that's an alarming thing to them, saying that, we're going to go out and get Mike Gillislee. It's like, okay, so now you're going to take away all the touchdowns from James White and Sony Michel. That's what it says to me, is that they want that goal line back, and it just makes it even more muddled. So. Right. If you own James White in Dynasty, look to ship him, in my opinion, but you do what you want. Sony Michel was a leading back with 18 carries, 98 yards, and a touchdown. He looked pretty good, but I think he's in the same scenario as Jay Ajayi with his knees. It's just it's like a ball waiting to drop of when he's going to get hurt.
I think this is a good spot for him, though, because I think that this is what New England should do. I know they're used to running committees and everything like that. This is what they should do, though. James White is a receiving back. He's not a guy that's going to get a bunch of carries. Give the ball to one running back because that's all you have that's healthy right now. I think that they signed Gillislee, it'd be more for emergency and maybe a couple goal line here and there. I don't think he'd be like the goal line back for everything. But I think that's where they should use him. And they use James White as a receiver.
But that's the thing. It's like that's what they did this game. That's what they did this game because they were winning the entire game. But
That's
like
back-to-back games with 38 points too.
Yeah, for sure. Patriots offense is now fully clicking, and they're a must start. Almost every guy on that team with Edelman and Gronkowski and James White and Sony Michel until they show you something different.
There's one guy that's not must start for me. That's Chris Hogan.
Yeah,
I had high hopes for him.
Notice I didn't mention him. He went from the number one receiver. Week 1, he was the number one guy. It was Hogan, Patterson, and Dorsett. He was the number one guy and still didn't do much. He had one great week. Then all of a sudden now you go and you trade for Josh Gordon. Then you get Edelman back. And now Hogan's like your number 3, which is really number 4 because he's behind Gronk, which is really number 5 because he's behind James White. So now Hogan went from number 1 option or number 2 option to number 5 to me. So Hogan to me is a guy that I'm not playing until he can be more consistent. Patterson is irrelevant to me now. So is Philip Dorsett unless they get a touchdown. But you can't bank on that every single week. So Patriots offense, good luck playing those guys. I think that they're going to score a lot of points. You just have to hope that it's your guy that's going to be beneficial that week.
Yeah.
Colts side though. Naheem Hines. I don't care if Marlon Mack comes back or not. He's a must-start for me in a PPR league. He had 9 targets again, caught 7 balls. Also had 15 carries. He had more than Jordan Wilkins did. So Jordan Wilkins only had 6. He didn't do much with them. He only had 45 yards with his 15 carries. But I think that Naheem Hines is the guy in the PPR league that I want moving forward over Marlon Mack and Jordan Wilkins. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but that's the thing that surprised me was Naheem Hines getting 15 carries. Like he was going to be known as the PPR guy, and yes, he got 9. He got 9 targets.
Also had another fumble.
Hines did?
Yes.
So see that he was fumbling all preseason, but you know who else had a fumble? Jordan Wilkins had a fumble too. So both guys fumbled in this game.
And it's just,
but I don't know why Hines is out rushing Wilkins as far as carries go because obviously Wilkins had a better clip.
Right.
But I don't know. To me, it's just a backfield that I'm just going to sit and wait and then see what happens because I don't want really anybody of these guys unless it's a PPR league and then I can put Hines in my flex.
The only thing I guess is because they were down the whole game, and Naheem Hines is the guy that's going to catch the majority of the receptions. So he's in the backfield to basically say, like, we could be throwing or we could be running the ball, and they happen to do both. And they just kind of took whatever the Patriots were giving him in the defense. So I think it's just a game script type of thing. Why he got so many carries because he was on the field the entire second half. Hines was there every damn play. It seemed like in the second half.
Because once Marlon Mack comes back, those rushing attempts for Hines are going to go down a lot.
Right, but I think his receptions stay up there where he's getting those 8 to 10 targets or 7 to 10 targets a game. And if you can get 7 to 10 targets from your running back in a PPR league, if he just catches half of those, then he's a flex play.
I know, but how much of that had to do with T.Y. Hilton not being there as well?
Well, I think Eric Ebron.
No,
I think Eric Ebron was the one that benefited from both those guys being out. 9 catches, he had 15 targets. That Rodgers had 11 targets.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, obviously Rodgers targets that's a mirage. But Eric Ebron is doing what I thought he should have been doing in Detroit for the 3 or 4 years that he was there. Mm-hmm. They should be using him in the red zone. He can go across the middle. He is the definition of a receiving tight end. He's not there to block. He is there to catch balls like Jimmy Graham used to do when he was back in New Orleans. And they finally use him that way. So when Jack Doyle does come back and T.Y. Hilton does come back, what happens there? How's that all shake down? Obviously, T.Y. Hilton's going to be the number 1. Ryan Grant, I think to me, is still the number 2 there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he got less targets than Carlos Rogers did this last game. That's what kind of screwed me on the wall bet.
Yeah, he had 9 targets, but he caught 6 balls for 58 yards. He just didn't get that touchdown. If he got a touchdown instead of Ebron getting both of them, and then even Eric Swoop got a touchdown.
A lot of tight end touchdowns.
Andrew Luck, if you're throwing the ball 59 times, are you convinced now that his shoulder and his neck is close to, if not 100%?
Oh, he's on Planet Healthy for me.
He's definitely on Planet Healthy for me as well. I needed to see it. I needed to see how he was going to move in the pocket. I needed to see him get hit. I needed to see all that, and I think I did see it, and I think that I believe in him moving forward. Do you agree?
I would agree with that, yeah.
I think, what was the thing we were talking about with the Twitter, Captain Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started reading the Captain Andrew Luck. You got me following him on Twitter, and it's just funny because it's Andrew Luck as if he was a captain in World War II, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like Civil War.
Civil War, and he's writing home to his mom about what's going on in the battlefield, which is the football field, and it's great. So I had to steal this because they played on Thursday night, and he says, "Dearest mother, we were bested by Captain Brady, the behemoth known simply as Gronk, and the rest of the Patriot men. My sidearm was true, my sight tremendous. Largely, we gave as good as we got in exchange of fire, but at last the battle plan fell through. Now onward, from Andrew." And so I thought that was kind of funny. And then a couple days later, he puts on there because now they're playing. They're about to play. Who was it? I can't remember who they're playing. But he every single week he has this tweet out there writing home for his mom, and it's just funny. So I thought that was kind of funny. If you on Twitter, go follow Captain Andrew Luck. He's hilarious.
Yeah, it's at Captain, but CAPT.
Yeah, CAPT and then Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Go follow. That's a pretty funny follow. He does it every week. He did it all throughout the offseason, too, with his shoulder. When he was coming back to shoulder, he's like, my arm, dearest mother, my arm is almost up to full strength.
Yeah,
all that stuff. It's pretty funny.
The squirrel oil. This one is says, Dearest mother, as the men prepared to depart Boston, we received word a unit in nearby New York seeks battle. Scouts report those men are so infatuated with aeronautics, they believe themselves to be aircrafts. So they must be playing the Jets.
The Jets.
We shall use the extra time to drill and hone our tactics from Andrew. So go follow that.
Love Andrew.
Sorry, I got off topic there. I just thought it was funny. Going forward, I like Andrew Luck and I like T.Y. Hilton and I like Ryan Grant as a flex play option. Eric Ebron to me is the guy is now the tight end to own in Indianapolis until Jack Doyle comes back and proves that he's a PPR guy there, because it looks like they trust Eric Ebron pretty much.
Yeah, I think that they're not going to rush Doyle back from his injury if Ebron's playing the way he's been playing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Andrew Luck will throw to his tight ends, unlike Green Bay that doesn't throw their tight ends. Andrew Luck does.
Well, now Green Bay is because they don't have any other options, but...
Yeah, I mean, to me, Ebron's a tight end one right now going forward until further notice.
So, we actually had our wall bet. And I had the first pick. I took Nyheim Hines, which I thought was a little sneaky because I tried to get the one Colt that I thought I could rely on. So I took Nyheim Hines, Tom Brady, and Gronkowski. I scored 68.04 points total in a PPR league. Jay had Andrew Luck, Ryan Grant, and Sony Michel, and he finished with 63.4. So one touchdown separated us, or maybe even one long catch separated us. Sony Michel had 98 yards rushing.
Yeah.
So again, if he gets that 1 point, that's 4 points, and we would have been separated by less than half a point. So it was literally that close, coming down to the wire when they just kept feeding Michel the ball to run the clock out. And I'm thinking this son of a bee is going to go over 100 yards.
My narrative actually stood true. Like the way I was picking my guys was that the Colts were going to be down and they had to throw, and the Patriots were going to have the lead and had to run the ball. So my narrative actually went down. I just happened to pick the wrong Colt receiver.
Well, same thing with me with Gronkowski. Gronkowski only had 13.5 points, and I was a little worried about that. But Nyheim Hines ended up saving me with all the targets and the carries. Like you said, I didn't expect him to get 15 carries, so that was a huge bonus for me. Even though he didn't blow up in the carries, he did get an extra 4 or 5 points, and that was the 4 or 5 points that separated us. So, Nyheim Hines, thank you, sir. I should write a love song to you. I should be doing the punishment, but as a love song to Nyheim Hines. But
Brady outscored
Luck, by almost 5 full points.
How? I thought your big discrepancy was Hines.
No, Brady threw for 300 and something yards, and he threw for I think 3 touchdowns. Didn't he? Go pull it up.
Yeah, but the box score on it was Brady had 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but Luck had 365 with 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. How did a 5-point discrepancy come up?
I don't know. I can wait to double check. Let me look because I don't want this to be.
This is where I sing and then really I won.
Brady had 38.54.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 38.54 for Brady. Who has Luck? Andre.
Yeah, maybe it must have been a long touchdown. Did Brady throw a long touchdown?
33.6.
Yeah, Brady must have thrown a long touchdown in there.
So I mean, maybe I ended up winning by bonus points. I don't know. I mean, I can click on his name and I'll tell you.
No, it's all right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's okay.
Seems like you don't believe. Maybe they give him extra bonus points because he threw his 500th touchdown.
Maybe he's better looking than Luck.
Maybe he's definitely better looking than Luck for sure. So yeah, I'm sorry you lost, and there's nothing you can do about it now. So what are you gonna perform for us?
Well, unfortunately, I'm singing again. This is the 3rd week in a row.
No, second.
Oh, it's only second. Okay, this is the 2nd week in a row.
I think I was week 1, you were week 2, I was week 3, and then now you got 4 and 5.
I'm gonna sing Taylor Swift because I haven't done Taylor Swift yet. You and Travis both have.
Welcome to the Swiftie zone.
Right, and we might as well go with something that's super upbeat and popular. So I'm gonna do
Shake It Off.
Shake It Off. I'm talking about shaking off the loss.
Yeah.
And
what if you go 3 times in a row?
Then I won't be shaking off that loss.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I'm gonna shake off this loss.
Get one prepared then.
Yeah, that's the most stressful part.
All right, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
I picked too many lanes. Got nothing in my brain. Well, that's what experts say. Mm-hmm. That's what experts say. Mm-hmm. Gronk and Brady were both gone. Andrew Luck just seemed like fun. At least that's what rankings say. That's what rankings say. But I keep watching. Can't stop, won't stop losing. It's like I got these 3 guys running around the field thinking it's gonna be alright. Cause the player's gonna play. And the hater's gonna hate. But I'm just gonna shake. Shake off the loss. Ryan Grant is gonna break. And the faker's gonna fake. But I'm just gonna shake. Shake off the loss. Heinz a PPR machine. He's lightning on his feet. And that's what Bill don't see. That's what Bill don't see. I'm picking on my own. I'll make the rules up as I go. And that's what James don't know. That's what James don't know.
You're making the rules up as you go?
Yeah. I'm going to start making the rules up as I go.
Clearly it's not working. Okay, it's not working yet, but punishment served.
Yeah.
You are free.
I will be making up the rules as I go from now on.
I need to start working on a song. I've been living the life of luxury of not having to even think about what song I'm gonna sing. But I think I'm gonna start looking ahead. It's just hard to look ahead because you want to go with the names.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna prepare something that has to do with Brady and Gronk or whatever. And then I end up winning, and it's like, okay, now I don't want to use this song anymore. So it's like every time I'm in the car now, and either my girlfriend plays a song or I'm listening to the radio or whatever, I'm like, could I use this for a wall bet punishment? You know what I mean? Like there's a couple I keep looking at, but they just seem.
I do the same
hard.
thing, and truth be told, like I know you and Travis both think that I have like this array of songs that I have ready and queued up, but I really don't. I don't pick it until after I lose, and that's what's being the stressful part of it. Is I literally changed my mind like 4 or 5 times.
You just did this last
night?
night?
In the last 2 days. I wrote this last night. Yeah, I literally wrote this last night in probably about an hour or so.
For the people listening that think that it's easy to do this, I promise you it's not. It's not like it's the most stressful thing in the world, but it's just hard to change the words, stay on beat in a karaoke style. Unless you're super familiar with the song, it's a lot harder than you would think. So give this guy some credit. I give you a little golf clap because it is hard, especially if you're writing it last night. You're only singing it for the first time right here, and it's one take, and it's sometimes it's a little rough. But so far, so good. I think you're definitely more musically talented on staying on beat than I am, for sure. I'm either tone deaf or I just can't, I don't know what it is, but every time I practice it, I'm like, I am all over the place. And it's easy when you're singing with the person that's singing the song.
Where I don't
and
like
you're in
it.
the car.
Yeah.
But when it's just the instrumental part, it's very easy to get shuffled around, mixed up there.
Yeah, and don't
people
get us wrong.
People are scared to do this.
Don't get us wrong, because we're not good singers, but that's the
Definitely
thing is
not.
that we're out there, we're putting it out there. It's on iTunes, it's on Podcast Addict, it's on Stitcher.
YouTube.
And thousands of people are listening to us.
And watching.
And it's on YouTube. And we have subscribers on YouTube. And so it's like we're putting ourselves out there, and it's just for fun. It's for fun.
It is. It's a punishment, and you served it. Maybe we'll do something else later on, but for now we're sticking with the songs, and we have a 50-50 chance of losing, and that brings us into the next Week 6 Thursday night game. It's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants. Philadelphia just had Jay Ajayi. You put him on the IR, so his season's done. Which is a surprise to everyone in this room, right?
Everyone's shocked.
Yeah, and I'm even more shocked that it was his knee. Like,
you know what was shocking about it was that we watched most of that game at work that day, and I don't remember seeing a spot where he actually looked like he hurt his knee. Like he fumbled on the goal line, which was a huge turn of events for last week because Minnesota ended up scoring off of that. And I don't remember seeing like Ajayi get hurt in the game, and then all of a sudden it came out like the next day that he had his ACL tear. So we wish the best for Jay Ajayi. I don't want his career to be I don't want his career to be done because of this. It's just he's only 25 years old and he's had the knee issues before, so hopefully he can get back on track. I'm just not a fan of him in the fantasy realm. I have nothing against the guy personally. I'm just not a big proponent of Jay Ajayi.
Well, we've been saying it since the season started that if you want to put your chips in this guy's basket, just do it carefully. Don't take an early pick on him. Don't give up too much for him because it's only a matter of time until his passport is revoked from Planet Healthy, and I'm revoking it. To me, he had just barely maybe had got to the gates and was like, okay, like he's played a couple of weeks, he's missed a week here, he's missed a week there, but like he's about to be a fully healthy. Yeah, he got to the pearly gates of Planet Healthy, and he saw me and he looked dead into my face. And I watched him play week 5, and then he told me, hey, I'm on the IR. And I said, not going to happen. Passport revoked. Get your ass out of Planet Healthy, and you're gone. So you're gone for the season. This is the thing moving forward, though, for Philly, for me. It's even more confusing now because you have Corey Clement still. Darren Sproles is gone as of now. And Jay Ajayi's gone. So you have Corey Clement, you have Smallwood, you have Josh Adams. The leading rusher through 5 weeks for Philly is Jay Ajayi with only 184 yards. And the thing that bailed you out, if you were a Jay Ajayi owner and you were playing him, is that 1 week where he had 2 or 3 touchdowns or whatever.
Week 1.
Okay, that's it.
And every Jay Ajayi owner was like, "Oh, there's another one. He's the RB1."
And everyone was saying, "Oh, you guys are wrong. Jay Ajayi's going to be RB1." And like, okay, like sometimes we are wrong. I'm not going to sit here and toot our horns like we're never wrong about something. But this is something that I definitely can tell you that me and Jay have been on since before the season started. That you cannot rely on this guy. But what goes on in Philly now moving forward? Now a report just came out a few days ago on Tuesday that they're looking at maybe possibly dealing for LaShawn McCoy. So if they deal for LaShawn McCoy, to me, the guys that went out and picked up Smallwood and Clement and Josh Adams, those guys are going to be damn near irrelevant if McCoy goes back there. And I like the Philly's offense. I thought maybe like to go after Le'Veon Bell. But hey, LaShawn McCoy's a pretty damn good replacement. I'm pretty sure that he's wouldn't mind getting out of Buffalo going to Philly.
Even at 30 years old for this season, if McCoy does get traded back to Philly, is he an RB1 in your opinion, or is he still staying at RB2?
He's
status?
a top 20 for sure. I want to see how they use him. Here's the thing: is that Doug Peterson's kind of still new there, right? So they've never really used one guy in Philly. So if LaShawn McCoy goes there, who's to say that they just give him everything? So I'm not 100% sold on him being an RB1 by any means, but I do like his situation to feel a lot more confident playing him than I would playing him in Buffalo.
I think it definitely boosts his stock a lot.
Like, I'm playing him as an RB2 in my lineup. Right now, he's like a flex play, and he's somebody in flex that I'm looking elsewhere unless I absolutely have to play him in a flex. If he goes to Philly, he's an RB2 for me.
You know what's kind of worrisome, though, about that is that if they do, let's say they do trade for McCoy and they get him back on there, and then, like you saw the news report saying that they weren't going to press charges in the off-field stuff that's happened to LaShawn McCoy, but that doesn't mean the NFL is still not going to suspend him. The NFL has to wait until the police investigation is all done. Then they do their own investigating, which is what happened with Zeke and why it was so long.
That's why I don't think it'll be this year. At this point, if nothing's happened at this point, it's already coming into week 6. I mean, you only need him. You only need him to week, 15, 16? I don't think that he's in danger of getting suspended by the NFL this year, because he can always appeal and then go to the courts and all that other stuff too if that happens the same way. Right.
The one thing I thought was interesting when I was looking up this next Thursday's game.
What's the line in this game?
The line on this game is Philadelphia is favored by 3 and the over-under is 44.5. It's tough for me, even though Philly is by no account they're not on the same playing field as New York Giants. I think they're way better than the Giants are, but I hate taking that road team on a Thursday game. Especially when it's a division game.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to bet the road team on the Thursday night games.
Well, look at the points per game and look at the matchup. Scroll down just a little bit more. Another way. A little bit higher now. Okay, right there. Points per game. 20 points, 20.6 for Philly, 20.8 for the Giants. Points allowed, 20.8 to 25.6. So they're both total yards is within 20 yards. Yards allowed within 3 yards. Like, these teams are so evenly matched. And when you say, oh, Philly is far and away above the Giants, it's like, are they? Are they really? Talent-wise, yes. But the Giants still have Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham. Philly has a bunch of guys, to me. Like, they have Carson Wentz, who's great, but they don't have a superstar. Zach Ertz, okay, but like Alshon is like all right. Smallwood, Clement, like they're just guys. You have 2 superstars on the Giants side, and Shepard, and if Evan Ingram plays, now you're at full strength finally for the Giants. So again, I think the Giants, Philly, this is a must-win for both these guys, both these teams. They're going to be out there scrapping. So I like the under in this game. So I think both defenses step up. But as far as fantasy relevant players, I don't know. Like, I don't really trust anybody from Philly except for Zach Ertz. Maybe Alshon?
Yeah, because I don't know how they're going to split their running backs. It looked like Clement practiced this week, so it looks like he's going to be back. So they have Clement and Smallwood, and like you said,
and Josh Adams.
They'll probably activate Josh Adams off the practice squad. And to me, I don't know who's going to be the guy that gets everything.
Well, Josh Adams played last week, didn't he?
Did he get any carries last week?
Josh Adams, yeah.
Yeah. So he's already promoted.
Not a bunch, but I remember seeing his name in the stat box here. Let's see, Josh Adams. Yeah, he had one carry last week for -1 yards. But I'm saying he's on the active roster. So they're going to be playing all 3 of those guys. So
who's going to be the guy that goes off? Like, I'm in one league.
Philly fans say Clement is the better runner than Smallwood. He runs with aggression. He runs, but he's also missed a couple weeks in a row, and he's not 100%. So for me, it's Smallwood I'm playing over Clement. Just this game, not for the rest of the season.
Yeah, see, to me, here's what kind of bothers me about. So the Eagles are 0-2 away this year, and the Giants are 0-2 at home. So something's got to give, right? But the Eagles have lost 2 in a row. Like, can you really see the Eagles losing 3 in a row? Because I can see the Giants losing 3 in a row easily, but I don't know if I can see the Eagles losing 3 in a row.
Yeah, the NFC. So
that to me means that
the NFC East to me is just it's just up in the air right now, and these middle weeks of like week 6 to week 10 is gonna settle out the rest of the playoff picture for that division winner and the wild card. I think only one team comes out of this division, and it's going to be the division winner, and it's going to be the first one to 9 wins is what it looks like. So at this point, all 4 of these teams to me have a great chance of winning this division, and these middle weeks here is going to tell the story for the rest of the year. I can't take a team on the road in New York. I don't know. I just don't feel great about Philly. So I'm going to take the Giants in this game, and I like the under.
You take the Giants in the under?
Yeah.
The home team?
Yeah. Home team and under. And I think it's going to be a defensive battle.
I still don't know who I'm going to take in this game. I really don't.
Because you got to figure, like, Saquon Barkley, Philly's run defense is still very good. So Saquon Barkley, if they do shut him down, Eli Manning's going to have to throw to win. Don't feel great about that. But Carson Wentz and Philly on the other side, it's like, they're not going to be able to run the ball. They get Smallwood and Clement, and I don't see them running for 110 or 120 yards. So now it's Wentz versus the Giants secondary, and it might be okay, but I don't see Philly putting up 31 points. So who's going to score in this game?
I think Eli can throw against the Eagles. I think Odell Beckham should have a good game. I think Shepard will have a good game, and I think if Ingram's back, then Ingram will have a good game. So,
okay.
And Saquon, they may go back to the drawing board with the way the Giants played against Dallas.
Yeah, give him 14 targets.
Right, they couldn't really run against Dallas, but they threw him 14 times.
Is he going to be okay coming off the little scamper that he got in the end zone when he tried to jump and do a little pirouette?
Yeah, that weird jump was
It looked like he
hyperextended?
Not hyperextended, but like jammed his his hip. Like the way he landed, it just landed wrong. He said he's going to be fine, but again, now you're going against a great run defense, and you're coming off a short week where you just jumped into the end zone and maybe possibly hurt your hip or leg. I don't feel great about Saquon Barkley in this spot.
No, but if you're in a PPR league, you're obviously rolling him out there.
You have to, yeah.
Even if he gets 50 yards rushing, I think he's going to make up for it in the receiving part of it.
Well, just pray that he gets a touchdown then, but I just don't see who's going to score in this game, to be honest with you. I like the under. Do you like the under or over? 44? Was it 44 and a half?
44 and a half.
It opened up at 45, so people are betting the under a little bit, and it also opened up at Philly minus 2.5, so people are betting Philadelphia and the under.
Ugh.
Yeah, I like Giants and under. So.
Well, if everyone likes the under, I'll probably take the over.
Actually, you'll hear on Saturday, or was it Friday when the episode comes? I haven't picked one over yet. I like the under in every one of these games, I guess. So I don't know going forward. So for our wall, did you want to touch on anything else before we talk about the?
No, that's good on the game. But let's go over our picks. Who we got the game?
So I drew the number 1 pick again. I think for the 4th week in a row.
Yep.
I took Carson Wentz with my number 1 overall pick, and then Jay had the number 2.
I took Odell Beckham.
So Odell and Wentz, and then I took Saquon Barkley.
And I took Zach Ertz, which I knew you probably didn't want to take Zach Ertz because every time you take him, he burns you on this triple threat.
You know what's funny is I didn't even put that together until you said his name out loud, and then I was like, you know what? I'm glad that I didn't. And I could have taken Ertz right there because you already had your Giants, and I could have had Ertz and Barkley, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this again and let Zach Ertz. Even though it would be funny for my song, I probably should have taken him because that's guaranteed my loss. That means a guarantee that I'd be singing, but I stayed away from you, Zach Ertz. So now Zach Ertz has a chance to burn me from the other side, and now he's going to get you the win, and you watch, he goes off. He'll have 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Boy, I sure hope so.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. And then I took Alshon with my last pick, and I left you with Eli.
And I had to take Eli, yeah, because you have to have a quarterback.
Right. So for Jay, he has Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, and Zach Ertz. And James has Carson Wentz, Alshon Jeffrey, and Saquon Barkley.
And we stayed away from all the Philadelphia running backs. So we're just not sure.
I don't want any part of Philadelphia's running backs, but there's still a lot of good options out there that could have been better options. Maybe Shepard, maybe Evan Ingram, maybe Nelson Aguilar catches a long touchdown. So there's a lot of decent options in this game, even though I think it's going to be low scoring. Somebody could potentially go off that we don't have here out of our 6 guys, right? So that's for Thursday night. We will be back next Thursday, and I hopefully will be holding the phone while Jay sings, as long as Zach Ertz doesn't F me again. Right? Ready to crack one?
Yeah, let's crack it.
Let's crack it to Zach.